Hey everyone, we're here on Cyrene, and every time we land, we try to do a little bit of tree cutting. And so today, I thought we would grab the weekly quest since we finished it last time, and it's right here at this Arc Immigration Tanhawk teleporter. You can see the teleporter over there. This guy gives a decoration quest to kill some stuff. This is the lumberjack guy, and then he'll randomly deliver a blueprint when we hit 10,000 boards. And so I like to grab this before we start. Now it takes a while to do 10,000 boards if you're just using the level 1 tools. And so probably why they call it a weekly quest. Alright, let's take a look around. I'm not seeing much green trees, which means there's not much harvestable. So we'll take a little flight and see if we can leapfrog whoever's out here. We see that one tree right there. Oh, okay, here's a bunch over on the edge. We'll start there. I wasn't seeing any trees, so I was like, well, someone's been here real recently. So let's swap out our little helmet. For just because we want that reload. Then we're going to take one of these lovely skill pills that we get from the starter pack refill kits. Alright, let's get some tree harvesting in now. And so the reason we do this is for the looting skills and other skills that are hard to build up. The looting profession skills is the #1 reason I do this. It's nice to backfill some of the other stuff too, like the geology for mining and get a little bit of athletics for your evader and dodging and stuff. Oh, that's a huge tree. We're going to want to use our big tool. So we're trying to get enough boards for a hour run on that basic butt joint. And I think we're at like 600 and something. Oh, we should probably have to repair this before too long. We'll grab this one, and then we'll circle back, grab that, and then move back along that edge where that big grove of trees was. There's like 5, it looked like. The zoology, biology, and analysis are a little... I don't know how to say it exactly. They're really slow and costly to build up if you're just doing pet taming. I think that's the way you get zoology. Or scanning. And scanning's really slow, especially with the trade terminal scanner on those skill ups. And maybe if you're using a scanner that you burn more ped, the skills will come a little faster. But I think it'll be pretty expensive at that point to try and work those up. That being said, some of those skills you can only get from scanning on the looter profession you're after. For the animal one, it's the xenobiology. And I think that's also why you'll almost never see it for sale. I have never seen it for sale. I just want to caveat the almost, just in case. But I've even spoken with skill brokers, and like, they don't even have it. They're like, good luck, is basically what I was told. because you'll go scan for hours just to get your first 100 points. And so scanning is just a absolute ped sink. Like, you get nothing back except for skills out of it. It's kind of like repairing on a mothership. Great skills, you get nothing back in return. And now, if we were trying to work up this lumberjack quest a little faster, we could be using that level 3 tool and repairing it, and we would be getting up to 10 boards per pull instead of the 1 to 2 that we're getting. I see this other level 3 tree. We're going to grab that. Like I said, I think we need about 200 boards or so of these long ones still. And then I'll worry about what we need for the small one, or all the large trees. I know that we're going to be missing some of those. I think they're just called moonleaf boards. I think it's small, nothing, and then large. So small moonleaf board, and then a large moonleaf board, I think is how the naming goes. Yep. Oh, you also get some dexterity out here, which is nice. You get that anytime you're using a tool or a rifle, I believe is where we get some of our other dexterity from. Well, and we take it from the codex also, because there's just not very many looter skills that kind of matter on there. And the other skills I wasn't really trying to work up. And who doesn't want a little more return for the ped you're spending? And so the further your looter skill goes up, the more you're going to get back, as stated by Mindark. And since they run the game, I assume that when they make a direct statement like that, they're being forthcoming. And then we're going to just scoot. Sometimes I'll run up over and come out the mountain pass there. This time I think we're just going to shoot around the edge. And then we're back at it trying to get some of these skills. And so let's see. Analysis, zoology, alertness, biology, dexterity. So those are 5 of the looting skills right out the that we're working up. And then we'll also get a little bit for mutant looting as well. You get some genetics out here. It's a lot slower than the other skills, but it is definitely noteworthy to mention. And now we're just using the tinfoil hat and the armor to boost our reload speed, so we get a few more swings in per tree. It helps us to kind of burn through the tools a little better and get a few more skills per hour, so to speak. Now there's that zoology. That skill is so slow to work up. It takes a while, we'll say. Which is why I do this whenever we're on Rocktopia or when we land on Cyrene. I like to do a round of this, almost right out the gate. And with tree cutting, you at least get some returns back. It's not just a straight loss. Grab this little one here, and then we'll hit those two. Three, I guess. I didn't see that other one. And I'll get I would say 90% returns when we do this on average. I'll see it dip down to 85, 80, 82 on a real bad run for us. But it's hard to tease out a little bit when we're using that level 3 tool as well. It's real easy with the level 1 tools, right? They're 5 pet apiece. Yeah, on 20 peta tools, what is kind of when last time I really gauged it well, I was getting 18 ped back, a little over 18 ped almost every time. And occasionally you'll break even, and it'll just be a round of free skills for you. Oh, there's that genetics I was talking about. We see how it's a big skill jump, and so that shows you that it's definitely going up slower than the other ones, or it would be higher. Oh, our tool broke. Like the skill itself would be higher. Let's see where we're at. And so, yeah, you see it's significantly lower than, say, my biology or my zoology. I don't know why. I'm excited every time this goes up, the resource gatherer profession. And you don't get anything for it. And yet I still kind of like working it up a little bit. For more than just if it's going to fill in my looter level. So there's the smattering of low percentage looting skills is what you get out here with the trees. Everything's sub 10%, I think, except maybe analysis. Analysis might be 10%. But I don't have the numbers in front of me right at the minute, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really recall. I remember it's more than the other ones, but by how much? And so someone's actually probably been through here semi recently. Um, despite how dense these trees are, they're actually usually more dense. And this is a pretty popular, well-known area at this point, I think. Which is nice. I'm glad the word's getting out on people actually doing tree cutting to enhance their character. I've said it for a long time, but that doesn't mean it catches on. And even after Looter 2.0 came out, or Loot 2.0, um, where they kind of outlined the professions and everything, people still just think just dump into skinning and whatever I guess for animal hunting it'd be butchering. And so they're really high on those two skills, and then the rest of these skills kind of fall by the wayside. I prefer to be well-rounded, I guess. Oh, and perception, I forgot about that. So that's 6 now, looter skills. And that's another one we take for codex often. Not a lot of great options on that particular codex line where perception shows up, typically speaking. But the skills really do just kind of pour in, especially the lower your resource gatherer level, obviously, the faster the skills are going to pour in, and the bigger the jumps are going to be. That parabolic effect of skills. But you don't have much time from tree to tree, and so most of your time you're able to be using these tools. And so, especially if you're using a skill pill, you can really reap some pretty good gains. And we're about 4% through that lumberjack quest already. And so it takes a second if you're using the trade terminal tools. But luckily, Cyrene put in these better tools than the trade terminal ones for the other planets. These are 50% faster. Like once every 2 seconds instead of every 3 seconds, I think. 22 instead of 33 uses. I mean, so not quite, but pretty close. Well, let's grab that one, and then we'll grab that one, and do like a little mini cul-de-sac here, and along the water line we'll go. And the weekly quest gives you a random blueprint. I pulled 2 of the Cyrene specific cutting tools, um, and 1 of something else. And so it's furniture blueprints, though. I want to say it was like a desk or something. Oh, I almost forgot to mention the trick to turn the trees green. So if you go into like the rookie instance, the weak Penelean instance at the rookie teleporter, and then just go down to the bottom and zone out in that building. When you zone out for whatever reason, it turns the harvestable trees this green color and turns the rest of these trees this red color. And I don't know what color they are normally. Maybe they're normally all this red color. But I just go hit that weak Penelean where, because I like to swunt in there sometimes anyway. And so we'll zone out of that and then we'll come up here and it's very much easy to spot the next tree you kind of want to go for. And you don't have to spend as much time uh, panning around trying to find where it highlights. And so that's kind of the other bonus for Cyrene, and why Cyrene's literally the best spot to do this tree cutting now. Faster tools, easy to identify the harvestable trees. I mean, it's like on Calypso in some areas where the harvestable trees are literally a different shade of green. Well, it looks like we're down another tool. And so you really can rip through a tool about every 10 minutes or so with the reload gear and these new tools. Um, yeah, about 10 minutes. Before it was around 15. And there's enough big groupings of trees that you're almost constantly just cutting something down. Unless you don't notice you stopped for a second, which happens to me sometimes. Or when we have to swap to pick up this huge tree over here. Again, I think we need like 200 boards. And they're pretty, I say they're pretty rare, but then there's like one here, one there. We got 26. That's not a horrible run. Um, again, pretty rare. But with this many trees, you should run into a few every round out, is my theory. And we typically do run into them a little bit. I also kind of hope they still do something with that gardener profession. And I say that often enough when we do this tree cutting, that profession is kind of a dead profession right now. Let's see how our. So we won't get much of a jump on the actual level itself, I don't think. Um, but you see, it's working up animal looter, mutant looter, and robot looter. And so, obviously, we're making a little smaller gains on the robot looter than the other two. Oh, just because a few of the skills don't cross over. Um, Biology doesn't count in the robots, and neither does anatomy, I think, are the two that swap out and becomes electronics and mechanics. And this is that road where we probably would have came out if we went over the mountain instead of flew around the edge this time. There's still a lot of trees up on that edge. I guess we'll hit that edge right there. It's like 5 of them up there. No, I definitely wouldn't want to do this all day. But to take an hour out, anytime I land on a planet that has a good tree cutting zone, and work on balancing up a little bit of these, or backfilling as I like to call it, these low percent skills, I try to make a little bit of a priority. Otherwise, they just get really far to where they're really um, not contributing much to your looter profession compared to everything else. It's cheap, and I think it helps me get better returns. And so, also at some point your returns shift. And I don't know if that was just a product of the skinning skill itself, because they don't really talk about loot composition. Outside, if you take a really long time to kill something, your loot composition will be bad. They have said that kind of. But at some point, you start shifting away from all a majority shrapnel, like 80, 70, 80% all shrapnel basically. Um, and you start getting more and more of the other loot. The At first, it's obviously just going to be more of the what would be common for that creature. Um, you got muscle oil and whatnot, but the composition definitely starts to shift um, at some point away from the shrapnel, and I think we're going to pass on that and just start our way this way, since that was like a solo tree. Oh, we want that one. And so we'll get about 5% of a level, I think, on average coming out here. Even at level 42 that we're at, we should still see that 5% ish. Now, obviously, when you're starting out, it's going to go up super fast. And then it'll start to curve down a little bit. But it's nice. Cyrene wants to give me a blueprint for some tree cutting that I was going to do anyway. And so it's always nice when you can stack stuff up for stuff that you were going to do. And so every few sessions we collect a blueprint um, that I really just put in storage. I haven't really done anything with them. The other thing you'll have happen while you're out doing some tree cutting and stuff, because you're just running around, you'll occasionally find some stone or some fruit. That's literally like a little secret payout for going for your skills, I feel. Kind of getting close to being encumbered. And when that happens, we'll go over the trick to keep going out here. Someone shared it with me, so I like to share it. And so this main island is where we can actually usually break 5 tools there, but if there's other people or someone's been through recently, this area has trees, this area has trees, this area has trees, this whole island has trees. This whole area is tree heaven. Oh yeah, and we work our intelligence up a little bit. Who doesn't like being a little less dumb? Oh. So probably around 9 or 10 trips out to do the weekly, just using the level 1 tools. Oh, and there's that fruit. See, this is literally like baby payout. Be like, oh, thanks for the hookup. 22 pieces of fruit. Which can turn an almost break-even run into a break-even run. And anytime the skills are free, that's kind of a bonus, I feel. Outside, you still have to use your time up to acquire the skills. But at least you didn't have to spend some time to get the money and then spend some time to acquire the skills. So it's definitely a bonus. I heard the guy's interceptor before I saw him on the radar. I'm also not sure how long the trees staying green after you leave that instance works. I don't know if it's they just respawn green from there on out for a set amount of time or until you log off or no, I'm not real sure. If they're not if you're not able to distinguish them, I just say go hit that instance again and you'll know for sure. But for sure this is the best spot to garner these skills now. Just because the combination of the visually able to spot them and the better tools. Who wants to be flying to Cyrene to be bringing a bunch of tools to Rocktopia to Tree Harvest Hell? I mean, it's equally as good. I get through about the same amount of tools. Um, but you'll notice I try to buy a few extra of these and take them up there when we do it, just because the difference is really profound on a per hour basis. You get through like 2 extra tools, one and a partial, really, but it's like 1.5. You go from like just short of 3 or 3-ish to about 5, and typically a little partial. Here we are. We're starting to hit that zone where we're starting to be a little encumbered. So what I like to do is we'll just branch off some of these boards, slap them in the vehicle cargo hold there. Then when we drop this vehicle, you'll see our weight drop off. And you can leave it there, or you can use your recall all vehicles. For me, it's that question mark key next to the right shift. And then that'll be in our planetary storage for us to pick up when we're done now. Now we're starting to get down some trees. I don't see so many now. And you'll occasionally get a multi-pull like that 7. I think I've got up to about 20 boards per pull. For whatever reason, they cap it there, and then the rest comes back as wood shavings. Oh, I see we got part of a gardener level. Yeah, about 3% or so. Kind of exciting. Like I said, I like to work that up, or I'm glad we're working it up. On the off chance that they kind of put in a some more for that profession, whether it's some more activities they can do, or it's a skill or something, or connect it somewhere. And if not, I like to garden in real life. I don't mind being a gardener in my virtual life as well. And so that's the fourth tool we've broken. And so we're getting about 300 boards per tool. We're about 60% of the trade terminal back as boards. Well, now that we've hit all of these trees, it's only going to leave us. We're going to have to branch out into this island for this last little bit to finish breaking this tool, I think. Unless there's enough on this little cul-de-sac. But we still got a pretty good chunk to go, but I'm seeing a fair amount of trees, so we might be in luck. Let's hit these ones over here first, and then we'll kind of circle out. I mean, we're in luck anyway. There's going to be enough trees over here or on these islands to get us where we want to go as far as breaking this tool. And so here's the skill. It's actually going to cap us off. It's not going to show us all of them because we got too many. But here's the skills we got. Because I created a separate tab just for that. And so for really cheap, we just got a ton of skills. I don't know where we're sitting on boards. So let's see, that's about 13, 20 ped worth on, and we're at only 22 ped or 23 ped spent. So sitting around right around that 90% zone. It'll be a little off because we got some of that shavings from the level 3 boards, and I didn't count the level 3 boards in there. Well, that was a nice little 8 board swath there. Oh, and there's another huge tree. So let's get out this other tool. I'm excited that we're getting kind of close to getting enough of these big boards to do that run. And since they're the ones that take the longest to collect, then we'll figure out what we need for to keep for the small and the large and the wood shavings. And I see we're encumbered again. Which is alright, because we're getting kind of close to breaking this tool. Well, that was a nice one. 27 boards right there. And so if you get a few of those in there, you stand a chance to come close to breaking even. You see, there's the little bridge across to the next island. And you can see there's trees over on this island already. But we did average a little over 300 boards per tool. Even after we take out those level 3 ones we snagged up with that level 3 tool. No, if I was serious about I just want to be out here cutting, the guy who told me that vehicle trick, was using pit bulls. And I'm pretty sure that you can use destroyed pit bulls, which don't have a lot of value otherwise. Like ones that you can repair, but are otherwise low trade terminal. So you just need it to spawn, and then it's out of your hair, kind of, is how that works. Oh, and that's going to wrap us up. There's 5 tools knocked out. We got about 15, almost 16% of that quest done. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. Stay epic.